losing my mind. I'm outside in the night, I'm outside in the day. Looking back on the track, gonna do it my way. Outside in the night, I'm outside in the day. Looking back on the track, gonna do it my way. Looking back. Looking for some happiness, but there is only loneliness to find. Turn to the left, turn to the right. Looking upstairs, looking behind. Yeah.
No, don't go back into that. We're not going back into your foray into puppetry, Blackout. I don't want to know about it.
It's not easy being green.
No,
Put
I
a
don't
little
want-
green bag. Welcome everybody to another episode of the Reservoir Slobs.
No.
You walked right into it.
Yep.
Well, I'm just never mind. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm going to go. It's going to be horrible. I don't want to. I don't want to think about it either. Fuck. And anyway, so
Kind of wish I had a surgical exam glove to snap right about now.
no. No.
It's time, Brad.
Dude, you're the one who was singing "It's Not Easy Being Green." I don't want to freaking no. Anyway,
No, but it fits perfectly with today's movie.
it kind of does. Yeah. The green reagent.
Mm-hmm.
And the little puppets.
Mm-hmm.
The rat.
Yes. Oh, yes. The rat. Yes.
So this is the
Yeah.
fourth movie of with
Some of my best work that I wasn't there for, but
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, I totally want some of our fans to, do artwork of you in this movie now.
yes.
Thinking about it.
Just keep
What?
rolling.
No,
rolling.
No. I don't want that artwork done. No.
Just rat
I-
rolling around like
Yeah, I don't need
pushing
there
a
does not
fucking
need to
dick
be-
rolling.
Yeah, there does not need to be a rat artwork and a severed penis. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. I
You
really
heard
don't.
the man, internet.
No,
go on,
no,
go
that's
for it.
that's worse than burnt toast. Okay.
Honestly, I can see of a great way to do it too. And it's him freaking out as you've got the pixelated, blurred out like dick being flung at him.
Oh God, no. No.
Also,
Yeah.
welcome Joys of Sorrow.
Yeah, it looks like that's the only one in the chat right now. So
I mean, why can't you? Why can't you throw the blonde that was in the movie at me? I'll take her even in her like creepy dominatrix form. I can deal with it.
Because
Better
you're
than
the
a severed
rat.
penis.
well, on the bright side, you'll have forgotten the safe word anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. What's it? I can't remember who that was. Can't remember the actor, but I can't even remember his name.
Who? Which
I
one?
can't think of his name. Not her, not Wes. The doctor that comes in.
Oh, hold on. The thing
I
is,
don't remember.
Was it Jason? No.
It is, yeah, Jason Burry.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. How?
Yeah,
What
I don't think I've
neurons
seen him in
collided?
anything else before, so I don't remember him at all.
What neurons collided to make me remember his first name? How did that
He
happen?
was actually in Mirror Mask and apparently Titanic.
Okay, I've never seen Mirror Mask, and Titanic I watched so long ago it's irrelevant.
I only remember one thing from Titanic, and that was Kate Winslet's boobs. So
Yeah.
there's not really anything else to remember in that other than that. I think. Wait, wasn't Billy Zane in Titanic?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than the Phantom, but
Oh, what do you
Anyway.
mean? The Phantom was such a lovely
Mm-mm.
little film.
I think I'd rather watch The Phantom over Titanic. At least it's shorter.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you won't have
Wow.
to sit for like 4 hours sitting through. Honestly, it's a disaster film.
You realize we've stumbled into the fucking meme from Twitter now of why don't men cry at Titanic? Do they have no feelings? No, it's Titanic. We stopped giving a fuck after the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
we realized
It's
what
too goddamn long, and it's just 90s music making you cry.
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
only
it
that,
is.
but it's also a drama film disguised as a fucking I just said the fucking word. God damn it, a disaster film.
It's a disaster film disguised as drama.
Yes. Because we
Not
all
only did you remember what you were trying to say, but you were trying to say it backwards.
Well, see, that's another problem for me. I hate disaster movies.
same.
Yeah.
It's like
Hey,
I know where this is ending.
Two I like.
you mean we're not going to cover the day after tomorrow? Really?
Oh, we might.
No.
I'm so depressed.
Brad, you
now
won't
we're
even
gonna
remember
have
the day
to.
after tomorrow.
I don't know what the day after tomorrow is. I don't.
That would be Friday. And if you expand it out a week, it's next Friday.
Wait,
And one more week, it could be Friday after next.
that means it's Wednesday?
Yes.
Ding,
And I-
ding,
Yeah,
ding.
yeah, it's Wednesday. What, we're here. What? Of course it's Wednesday. What? Oh, gee, anyway.
He's so lost, he doesn't even realize the fucking movie references I just made.
No, I don't. I don't know.
Friday, next Friday,
Oh,
Friday after
Jesus.
next.
And welcome
I'm
to
not
Geodes.
with it today. I'm sorry. Hi, Geodes. Watch me panic and struggle to remember anything right now.
Oh, don't worry. We still have like 3 more hours.
Yeah, right. Wait, what? 3 hours? What are you talking about? 3 hours?
You'll
What do you
see.
mean? No,
It's the extended edition.
I would have liked a little more warning. No one told me. I wasn't informed, and
You're late to the
I-
party.
I'm late to the party. I started the call.
Exactly.
And then we're still late. What the fuck, man?
I can't even win with that. It's not. Sometimes, God, you're infuriating. You're infuriating.
Well, you
Anyway,
know what they say. Better late than never.
True. Well, wait. Isn't there a joke with that? No, I don't. Never
And now
mind.
we're back to It's Not Easy Being Green.
Oh God.
Ah, damn it. Oh, damn it. Oh. I am a wreck. I'm sorry. We were talking about Re-Animator. The last thing I remember is Kate Winslet's boobs.
Yeah, because we got off onto the subject of Titanic. And the
Yeah.
only good part of that movie.
I've apparently decided that this show should just be nothing but me confused and cold opens for the entirety of the show, apparently. Sorry. Yeah, Re-Animator with
Beyond Re-Animator,
or
more
Beyond
specifically.
Re-Animator. Yes.
The third movie in the trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Shot in 2000 or released in 2003.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
personal opinion might be the best one in the trilogy.
I still think I
I-
prefer the first one more. It has a charm to it.
Yeah, the first one's pretty good. I kind of liked the way the Bride of Re-Animator went.
Yes.
I liked the way some of the shots are set up, the gore and like the effects. I like that like oversaturated.
It also had some of the
color.
best lines from West.
And yeah, that whole monologue about God from Jeffrey Combs, it was like
Still
oh,
fucking
this is
great.
fucking amazing.
That was
It was
good.
great.
When the bride and Francesca are fighting, and West is making bets on the bride's like, our girl's just too well put together.
Yeah, that was good too. Those are good lines.
Yeah, and
Hi,
welcome
Steve.
blowing off steam.
Nice thing.
And hey, Joyce, I didn't realize there. Okay, at least Joyce was here and I didn't see it. Wow. But
Observant today, Rod.
I'm wearing sunglasses and it's dark out. Okay, or like it's not even.
And
sunny.
is it 200 miles to Chicago and we've got half a tank of gas?
Hit it.
I'm not driving. I don't know how to get to Chicago. Why would I be driving? You know, I mean, come on.
Because someone has to drive.
Well, to be fair, you and I are probably more like Elwood as far as everything goes.
I don't want to be the child in fucking Blues Brothers 2000.
Wait, you are, aren't you?
No.
Which
that's too bad for you.
I guess technically makes you John Goodman.
I guess.
If we're going with Blues Brothers 2000.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
No, I can die off early.
Yeah, I mean it's the closest you got here because John Goodman, that one was really excitable and almost, you know,
yeah,
kind of goofy.
Yeah.
I mean, one of his, you know, flat out goofier roles.
Yeah, it's probably where I'd fit. Yeah, but yeah. So
because you're either him in that or you're him in Big Lebowski.
I don't think I'm that excitable and like prone to pull out a firearm at any point in time. And
well, we've never taken you bowling either, so we don't know.
You have a point.
His ankles are gonna give out.
And then he's gonna be really pissed about not picking up that 9-10 split.
True.
Or I'm sorry, 7-10 split.
Yeah, the 7-10, the dreaded 7-10. But why is
we completely derailed again?
Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me?
Because set up and pay off.
I guess I just
kind of like the movie.
Yeah.
You've had 2 movies of setup, and this is sort of the big payoff as far as the plot goes.
Yeah, it was. I mean, in this one, basically, I mean, it starts off with West getting caught finally.
Yeah, arrested back in 1990, actually, shortly after the events of Bride.
Yeah, shortly
presumably. Because one of the experiments gets loose, and it's like missing an arm and its jaw, and it just really wants a glass of milk.
Yep, and it kills. There's 2 boys are there, and it gets in the house and kills one of them's sister.
Yeah,
Emily, and then it drinks a glass of milk, and the cops kill it, and they arrest West.
I like the cop shoots the carton of milk out of its hand first.
Yeah, I know. I was like, why would it's a dead person that has no lower jaw and like a foot-long tongue sticking out, and you shoot the carton of milk in its hand first.
Well, it could be used as a weapon.
He's got a carton of milk. Gun him down.
I mean,
also, is that foreshadowing to when the journalist chick gets her nipple bitten off?
No, the journalist chick didn't have that happen. That was the
the nurse.
The nurse.
Oh yeah, the nurse. That's right. Sorry.
Also, welcome Bishop and Disky.
Hey, welcome.
You just joined, everything's derailed. It always is derailed. I'm here. What do you expect?
There are no rails. We just imagine them.
No. But yeah, they arrest West, and the kid who saw his sister die is out there, and West just kind of like is in the cop car and like looking at him, and he just kind of looks at the kid and like gives this nod and looks down and then looks back up at the kid, and the cop car drives away, and the kid looks down, and there's the glowing green vial of reagent, and he picks it up, and
apparently holds onto it without ever doing anything with it.
Yeah, and then it just says 13 years later, and
in Spanish.
Yeah.
Well, we watched the Spanish version. There is an English version that has it in English, and that's actually on Vudu right now. Free with ads if you want to watch.
Yeah,
absolutely worth a watch. Like,
the
entire trilogy. It's one of the better trilogies, especially in the horror.
Honestly, it's me and Rat were talking about this last night. I think, along with Evil Dead, it's pretty much one of the most solid trilogies you'll find. Period.
Yeah.
Like,
I haven't.
Yeah, they're. I like the third movie the best, I think, but I love the first and second one too. Like,
Oh yeah,
they weren't bad in any regard.
yeah. They're solid trilogies, both Evil Dead and the Re-Animator series. It's just great. It
Yeah.
really is. I mean,
So
they're both they both have two, in my opinion, icons. I mean, Evil Dead, you've got Bruce Campbell. In Re-Animator, you have Jeffrey Combs, and
Yeah.
they're both amazing. They can't help it. It's
well,
like,
Combs has such a unique appearance and voice as far as things go, giving him a
Yeah.
great presence. So much so that even the other stuff he's done voice work wise is still horror related. Like, he does, I guess, a series of kids movies based on H.P. Lovecraft.
oh really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
Where he
Hell yeah.
voices H.P. Lovecraft.
that's awesome.
actually, you know what? If they wanted to do one final fucking thing with Jeffrey Combs as Herbert West, they should just do like a one-off special.
Well,
Of,
the third movie's plot sets up a great way to hand it off to a new actor.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were talking about that.
But I'm thinking also, since Evil Dead got like 3 movies and then a show, why not cross over with Re-Animator as a one-off?
Well, they did that with the comic book series for Army of Darkness.
Exactly.
I actually have issue 1 of Army of Darkness versus the Evil Dead.
Yeah.
So,
So
or not Evil Dead, the Re-Animator.
that again,
Oh.
that would be really fucking interesting. I think if they did like just a made for TV movie, just
No.
like kind of putting an end to the after Evil Dead and kind of adding on a little crossover with the Re-Animator.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be interesting to watch. No,
Because they're
definitely
both
with
getting
Raimi
out there.
directing. I don't know if you get Yuzga in on it.
Oh, I think he would actually be in on it.
yeah, I think he'd be up for it.
I mean, I'm not super familiar with all of his background like I am with like Raimi and Campbell. I'm a giant Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell fan. Like,
Right.
I've got the autobiographies and stuff. I've read through those, so I'm kind of familiar with how their opinions sway.
Yeah.
And I could see them definitely wanting to do that because there was originally the whole Freddy versus Jason versus Ash.
Yes.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think with Re-Animator, it would be a lot better, like, to have those two franchises together because, like, Evil Dead, kind of Lovecrafty, and, well, Herbert West, Lovecraft,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of goes well together.
Well, plus you've got them. Imagine trying to, reason between Ash and Herbert West.
Oh, that would be fucking funny.
That would be great.
Actually, they're slowed down, amigo. I am not following you at all.
Right. There could be some really comedic moments in that, like between them going back and forth. That could be gold.
And then
God
he ends up
does nothing on
reanimating
me.
Ashley J. Williams' disembodied hand again.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, if the actor's still alive, we could probably get the guy that played fucking oh god, what's his name? Shit, was Dave in the Re-Animator?
Oh, Dan.
Dan, yeah,
Yeah, Daniel Kane was
Yes.
the
Yeah.
original assistant. Yeah, I guess he didn't want to come back for the third movie because they wrote him out as having turned state's evidence.
Yeah.
yeah, but that would be like a perfect little ending to both franchises. Just put the lid on it and just leave it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Welcome, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, welcome.
Yeah, well, I mean, with the third movie, you find that West has found a way to transplant basically the soul, more or less. They're just the nanoplasmic energy that accounts for the decrease in weight when a person dies.
Yeah.
Yep.
He finds a way to capture that and transplant it, but it effectively functions like a soul. So I could totally see them finding someone creepy enough to play the role of Herbert West and just transplanting Herbert West's soul from Combs to him.
Yeah, you could totally use that to transfer, and it's a new character, a new actor playing Herbert West.
Yeah,
Yeah, it totally would work. They
it's an
already
excellent
have it.
handoff. It nods to the original work,
Yep.
but still gives you plenty of room to do new stuff because it doesn't have to be exactly Combs's Herbert West. So
No, it doesn't, and it allows it to be transferred on. So that would be that's a good vehicle for it. So, but I don't know, like, what was basically this whole movie is
it's
prison.
pretty much the
It's a
same
prison
you'd see
movie.
from any Re-Animator movie, really.
Yeah, except
Except he's in prison now.
Yeah, instead of being in a hospital, it's a prison this time.
Yeah, West is still in prison. The warden's a psychotic son of a bitch.
Yes, yes, he is.
The assistant, whose name is Howard Phillip.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's the hospital doctor and the kid from the opening of the movie.
Yeah,
who wants to team up with West and stop people from dying because he never wants to see anyone have to suffer what his sister did.
yeah, his sister Emily.
And welcome, Pinky.
Hi.
Hey, Pinky.
And he wants West to help him in the clinic so that he can learn West stuff and make more reagent for bringing people back.
Yeah, and he still had that original vial, that needleful that he lost 13 years ago.
Yep.
And
not as anywhere near as glowy now.
No, it looked like we made jokes about it. Oh, it's lost its glowingness. It's just Mountain Dew at this point.
Well, the 90s are over. You can't get Surge anymore. How are you going to make any more?
Well, you can. It's just called Urge.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, come on. It may be called Urge, it may be Surge, but it's not this. Even what we have these days you can get is not the same as the early 90s Surge.
No,
true,
no, it's not.
True.
I drank a lot of that stuff. It's possibly why I don't sleep well. I think I still have that. Like,
he's still on a sugar rush.
Yeah, it's possible. It is. It is. The worst part is I used to take wild berry Skittles and mix them into bottles of Surge, and it turned a horrible color. It looked like it turned it all brown. But oh my god, it was amazing because it was like Surge and wild berry Skittles mixed together. It was amazing. But
and then you just pour a cup of that in the morning instead of coffee.
Yeah, you didn't need coffee. I didn't need coffee. The only thing I always thought was weird was the fact that it ate the candy shells off the Skittles, but then it just rose to the top of the Surge and was like this layer of foam, but it was just liquefied candied shell. I'm like, should I really? One day I was like, should I be drinking this? It's eaten the candy shell off. What's it doing to my body when I drink it? Oh well,
it's rotting
anyway.
Let's be fair. That candy shell gets eaten away just by you holding them half the damn time anyway.
True.
That's true, but I thought about it for a second and then went, but it tastes good, so I downed the whole bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll die in Flavor Town, baby.
Exactly. That's basically what ended up happening. But no, he's requested West a different work detail in prison because Howard Phillips wants to work with West, so he's requested him to help him in the infirmary, and that's how that's how the whole they end up meeting, and he tells him I want to work with you and make more of the reagent, and that starts the usual chain of events involving Herbert West at that point.
Yeah, because they actually meet over one of the prisoners having a heart attack and being brought in.
Yeah.
Well, basically the formula of these films are dead person, reanimate, goes out of control, next person, try again.
And it's always somebody either in the middle of trying to kill Wes or somebody in the middle of trying to kill someone else. And West is just like, yes, let's go ahead and reanimate them immediately so they still have those murderous impulses.
Right.
So they're still
Yeah.
fucking pissed.
Yep. That just... There's no forethought like when West is in that mode.
2 had it the best. Like the cop he kills comes back and is immediately like, no, get that rag away from me. I'll kill you, West.
Yeah.
Like, what were you expecting to happen?
He never learns. Like, it's like doesn't fucking help him. I think the only difference, actually no, that's also part of it. Start with an animal, then a dead person, then someone who's very alive that just died, to then another person that just died, to reanimate again, and then shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they reanimate that prisoner, and he goes crazy. They throw him in the hole and put a straitjacket on him, and I guess.
Yes.
And I think the next bit was they make more of the reagent or something like that. And
well, they start making more of it because West gave him the list of stuff they needed
to make it. Yeah.
Which apparently this prison has no one to double check any of this because when the guys come in with the heart attack, they've got none of the stuff he needs to help him apparently.
Right.
Which is also a little strange in the fact that, this guy supposedly graduated top of his class and he's panicking.
Yeah.
Well, all the Re-Animator films takes place in like Arkham?
Yep. Arkham, Massachusetts.
Yep. But this one is clearly... this is not the US.
Yeah,
Nope.
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I mean, they kind of tried to capture the look. I mean, they've got some of the fancier cars. The cop cars, they kind of did up like U.S. cop cars.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was interesting that you have like this, Supermax prison that's just inside the city.
Yeah.
Like it almost looks like it's just at the V in Times Square, and they've turned into a prison now.
Right. Oh.
That would be interesting.
Somewhere in that whole first prisoner having the heart attack and them reanimating, somewhere in there I know that the reporter that was touring the prison and trying to look, she's currently dealing with the warden who's being really creepy and like
He definitely wants to hook up with her.
Yeah. And
Basically,
it was just creepy.
Yeah, like it's basically the fucking head of the medical institute in the first film, basically acting the same way.
Yeah. He's filling in for the role of Hill.
Yes.
Yeah, basically. But Howard Phillips and her meet and ruin the warden's chance to like get her to go on a date with him or something. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, she somehow sprains her ankle just by being bumped into by the druggy inmate played by Brian Yuzga, who is the director.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who you see later on have a pretty good scene.
Yeah.
But, and somehow out of that, after the whole chaos of the inmate having the heart attack and they reanimate him and he goes crazy and they lock him up. At the end of the day, Howard Phillips is walking out to go home and leaves his car to drive her home because she can't run the clutch because of her sprained ankle. And
it's not even the right foot. It's her right ankle that's sprained.
Exactly. It's a right ankle that's sprained. The left runs the clutch, but he drives her home in her car and leaves his there and goes to her apartment. They have pizza and just hook up, I guess. It was kind of a weird setup.
I'm going to be honest. It's the reporter chick is like the weakest point of the entire third movie.
Right.
Because there are so many strands of plot that they involved her in that just fizzle out.
Yeah.
You got her trying to research, West for her story and all.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's a nice little push for, getting her into the situations. But they put so much focus on her trying to get information out of Howard Phillip that, I mean, they even show this whole big zoom in scene of all of her research on West's former arrests and everything, but nothing ever comes of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of a wasted side plots. Like, if they just stuck with one, I think it would have gone
Yeah.
a lot
Well,
better.
I think they figured that out towards the end.
Yeah.
It's just, or at least in editing. So,
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think this movie has the most interesting side characters.
mhm.
Like the junkie in the prison and
Yeah.
the rat man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the prisoner that wants his rat back, and he's gonna kill West for him, and he's gonna kill West because you took my rat or whatever. Ratty, I think he calls him.
Yep.
And West reanimates him using that neuroplasmic energy or whatever.
Yep.
NPE.
The NPE that he'd figured out, and he uses that to they reanimate the rat, and it starts freaking out.
Using a
and then
different rats.
using a different
NPE.
rat. Yeah, that's true. But then they reanimate the rat, and then they hook it up to the machine and implant the NPE into it, and it goes tame. It's back to normal. It's not freaking out and angry. It's like a normal rat. And he gives the rat back to the inmate, who is just, I'm going to kill you. And West just walks up and goes, here's your rat. And he just lets it go. He's like, oh, Ratty, I'm so happy to see you. And the rest of the inmates are like, you're not going to kill him? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And West just walks off. I thought that was funny.
I do like the evolution of West's character through these movies. Because like in the first movie with Hill and all, he was kind of like physical confrontation sort of frightened him because he was the egghead,
Yeah.
what have you. But in the second movie, one, he's gone through the entire events of the first movie.
Mhm.
Plus, he's now gone, it was like fucking Bolivia in the middle of a fucking civil war
Yep.
as a doctor down there. So he's been through a war zone and is familiar with gunplay now. And you get to the third movie where he spent 13 years in prison and he's just walking through these like neo-Nazi tough guys that are saying they're just like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't care. Yeah. Like I think at one point they like that inmate that wanted to kill him like got hold of him, and West just looks at him blankly and just goes, "Get your hands off me." He doesn't even like. It's not even. He's not shocked.
He gives
he's
no
not scared
shits.
at all. There is zero fucks from Herbert West. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean they don't really comment on it, but he's progressed beyond just the original egghead at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Which is kind of touched on a little bit more later on in this movie when, things go to hell.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, that's basically like what starts everything going to hell is the reporter has finally gotten some information and she wants to know about what happened to that first prisoner that freaked out. And she lies to the warden and asks for a tour, and he agrees to go on a date with him even to get to go on the tour so she could get away from him and go try to interview that prisoner that's down in the fucking hole
By
Mhm.
bribing
and she bribes the guard.
Yeah.
And then while she's there, the warden creeps up on her and finds her there.
Yep. And that's pretty much where everything starts to go crazy.
Yeah, because the the inmate kind of tries to attack her.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
And the warden comes in and stops it, but then the prisoner like at times acts like he almost becomes normal again and he's repentant. Like
I think that's part of the fact that he's just a psychopath to begin with.
Yeah, it is. But then will lash out when he gets close.
Yeah, because he was like confessing to the doctor when he was having the heart attack that he'd eaten somebody's heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he was a cannibal before it even turned
possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
But then that's when it all goes wrong because he rips off the warden's ear.
Yep. And then the warden I guess he decides that he has to make this look good when he beats him to death and takes the straitjacket off of him. and then starts playing power games with the reporter chick, trying to force her to like give him a blowjob. And
Yeah. And then when she doesn't want to do that, he ends up strangling her, and then obviously they bring her down to the infirmary. There was an accident, she's dead. The inmate got loose and strangled her. The inmate didn't do shit. The warden killed her, but they reanimate her, and then she's freaking out. And
well, they reanimate her, and she's in those last moments, so she's even acting like she's being strangled / having to act like a dog, like the warden told her to.
Yeah, it was weird. That was weird to me. The bark like a dog, and the girl gets on all fours and goes woof, woof. I was like, what? Really? Did you do that? Why? That was kind of, it was funny, but also
it's funny because a lot of her lines are actually dubbed for the English version.
Yeah.
You can tell watching.
Yeah.
And I feel like they dubbed the wolf too.
Yes,
they
they did. Actually, a lot of the side characters are dubbed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
West, I think the warden is undubbed.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
I think he's dubbed actually.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with the actor. I've seen him in other stuff. I know he can speak English.
Yeah, I think he did the dubbing for himself as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there were definitely some of the shots where it was completely off. So I don't know if it was just...
Well, I mean, sometimes you do end up dubbing in lines, but...
Well, obviously.
But, yeah, that's pretty much where it starts to go off.
So they end up killing the warden and taking his MPE because Howard Phillip doesn't want to use a rat's MPE to normalize the reporter chick.
Yeah.
So they basically put the crazy, domineering soul of the warden into the reporter chick.
Yeah. Which that was interesting because she comes back and she's normal for a bit, but then she I don't know, has some sort of weird convulsion, and then she starts talking like the warden and acting like the warden, and somehow in the midst of that, the two prisoners, the guy in the straitjacket that we thought was killed isn't in the hole anymore. They can't find him. They start searching for him. He's gone back to his prison cell where he was cellmates with the
rat guy,
the rat prisoner that wants the one of the rat.
Don't you bring that up, you son of a bitch.
What? What's the problem with Rat Boy Genius?
But that there's a whole sequence of events there where the escaped from the whole prisoner, this crazy bald guy that's eating people, tries to eat the rat and doesn't eat the rat. The guards finally find him, and the doors open, and he spits the rat at the security guard, and the rat bites his nose, and he gets knocked out or something, and they get out. They get his keys. Yeah, and the rat prisoner, I can't think of his name, but he gets out and he goes to the control box and releases all the prisoners. At which point, it's no longer, it's a riot. It's a full-scale riot, prison break kind of thing. And it just becomes chaos at that point. And everyone's loose, and no one can figure out what's going on. And that's pretty much the rest of that's where everything gets really interesting, because it starts going faster and the action really comes up then.
Yeah, like the prisoners are taking control. West revives the warden to take revenge on him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Apparently for sticking him in solitary for 3 fucking years.
Yeah.
Which, Jesus Christ, that's a bit rough.
I suppose it also tells you a lot about West, that he came out still the same.
Yeah.
He had time to perfect his formula.
Yeah, because he even says, I did some of my best work in there. It's like, in solitary, in the hole, you did your best work. That's scary. But yeah,
which that leads to the Rat's starring scene ultimately.
Oh no. Yeah.
Because he uses the Rat MPE to revive the Warden.
Yeah.
Which had some really decent visual effects on that from the Warden's point of view.
Yeah. Because I don't remember how that happens.
What part happens?
I don't remember what happens to where at some point West loses his he's packing up all his stuff because he's going to leave.
Yep.
Yeah, the Warden gets free and knocks him out and takes all of it.
Yeah, that's he took it.
And then he goes into the prison, like the Warden goes into the prison, interacts with the main guard, reanimates him, and then goes to seek the check. The
He's
journalist.
actually the reporter again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got kind of radish features coming in now.
Yeah.
Which that's a payoff as well.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, those visuals.
Like he's gone crazy and he wants to use the reanimation serum to torture prisoners.
Yes.
Well, continue torturing them after they die.
Yeah. Like they die quickly. I can reanimate them. Their suffering will be prolonged. He even says all that. It's like,
yep.
And he reanimates people that have been hung. So they're just.
Well, he's hanging them too, because one of them is the Rat guy who'd been like ripped in half.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, okay.
That happened too. The reporter lady escaped him, and the Rat prisoner or the Rat guy prisoner and several other ones are chasing her, and they've got corner. They're rapists and murderers. They're gonna have a good time, and she's terrified. And then all of a sudden, she just picks him up grabs him by the throat, picks him up. It's like, oh no, because she's gone violent, and she wakes up and she's like,
she's cut him in half.
She's cut him in half. He's just an upper.
Yeah, like they're all in pieces. She's laying on the ground covered in blood.
Yeah.
The only bare spot, not a pool of blood, is where she was laying.
Yeah. And she gets up and she survives her attackers and runs off. But that's when I don't remember
the Warden
does the Warden reanimates them after that when they're dead.
Because she's horrified and wandering out of the cell, and he's wandering along. He's got them hung up, and he's got a few reanimated, and he's explaining it all to her. And then he takes her off to the electric chair room.
Yeah, he's gonna. That's when Howard Phillips and West finally.
No, there's one scene before that, which is very important, which is the junkie.
Oh yeah, that's Brian Usna or whatever.
Yeah, in just a few cells. Is it not? I could have sworn it was.
No, it's Santiago.
Oh no! Wait, no. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I thought that was Usna. My mistake.
Yeah, and he sees that the Warden is putting some stuff injecting fucking serum into other people. So he wants the fucking hits.
Yeah, he just wants anything he can get strung out on, and he's like 2 cells over from crazy reporter lady, and he like fucking freebases Re-Animator agent an entire vial right into his arm.
Yeah.
And Rat, you ask what would happen if you drank the Skittle or Surge cocktail. That's what happens.
Yeah, pretty much that is what happens. You convulse and can't control your body, and you're flailing around a room. That was pretty much what happened to me. So.
And then the eyes.
Yeah. And.
Well, I mean, he finally gets that second dose in, and it's not just the eyes that pop like in the first movie. It's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, he basically explodes. But he's still reanimated.
Yeah.
I need another dose, man.
And picks up the eye and takes it, and it's just walking past like, hey man, you got any more of that shit?
Yeah.
And he's just like a gristled skeleton at this point.
Yeah. But he still wants more. Terrible.
And fucking Rat Dude, who's been reanimated and hung, is now chasing West. You get this great scene where he drops down on West, and West is fighting him. with some great green screen action there to get West's legs up to like throw the torso off.
Yeah.
Like they did really good with the green screening there, so it looks like his legs move where the legs should be for the guy that's on top of him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And flings him off, and then he grabs the rope to the noose. And it's like swinging this torso around like a human mace.
Herbert West flailing a torso at like on like a 6-foot rope, just just whipping him around and throws him off into the darkness. It was great. And that's not the end of him, because then he's chasing West,
Just
running around,
continuing.
like, hanging from like the ceiling, from bars at the ceiling, pulling himself down the hallway, chasing West. That was really good. It was a good shot.
Which then leads to the executioner room,
Yes, that's
where
the woman was there with the reporter chick and trying to do the whole psychosexual domineering thing and make her give him a blowjob.
And she does.
But she snaps into the whole warden mentality thing that's going on before that and orders the security guard out and like starts giving the blowjob.
And they don't show it, but bites off the warden's penis and spits it into the corner. At which point the rat
shows
comes
up
in and drags it off out of scene. Why? I don't know.
There's just a couple of scenes during this whole final climactic fight of this rat rolling
a
bit off penis down on the fucking access tunnel. Like it's
why it doesn't
carrying it off.
and now we
I
need
don't know why
rat
it cuts away from that and shows action for a while, but then cuts back to specifically the rat that no one cares about rolling a penis around. Why they decided that needed to be in the movie, I don't know, but it's funny.
The best part is that when Wes finally kills the warden by forcing him in the electric chair, it does one final shot of the rat rolling the penis, and the penis goes boing, boing, boing.
Yeah, it makes literally a spring boing sound when it falls over, and the rat walks off. And that's the end of it. It's like, why was that in there? It's funny, but why was it in there? You know? And we forgot about that. Before West puts him in the electric chair and kills the warden, there's that shot where the warden's like creeping up on him, and he's all on all fours like a rat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which looked really, really painful on your hip joints and your ankles.
He's basically in a both legs forward lunge position.
Yeah, it does not look good. Oh no, Eric Pug, no. Oh god.
That's fucking spot on.
That's great.
And you've got Howard Phillip over there dealing with the now like full dominatrix mode reporter chick who's like killing him with her thighs. Like she even gets him like face up between her thighs, one leg around the back of his head, like crushing the life out of him.
Yeah.
After doing this really weird sort of reverse crab walk over him.
Yeah.
Basically a reversed version of the Exorcist down the stairs walk.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. She doesn't even like, the reporter lady had like a white button shirt. She's ripped that off. She has on like a black leather corset and a mini skirt at this point, and has gone like full dominatrix mode basically. And it's like, I don't know how to feel about this. I'm not exactly. I mean, she's killing the guy. But is it really that bad? You know?
Yeah. But she's also cycling back to normal her and like begging him to kill her and everything.
Yeah. While she's like basically, yeah. At one point, she almost like she tried to step on his face with her stiletto heel.
Yeah.
And then she's strangling him and she's begging him to kill me. And he gets hold of the knife and he starts slashing at her throat. And she just keeps saying, kill me. And eventually cuts her head off. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was very Evil Dead 2-esque with Linda.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Uh,
And that's basically like she dies or she gets her head cut off. The warden gets fried. Most of the other, there's just chaos with the whole prison. The SWAT team has broke in. They're taking control of the prison again. And in the chaos, Herbert West comes to find Howard Phillips sitting there holding, I can't remember her name, the reporter.
Yeah, I don't.
Just holding
Laura.
her severed head. Laura, that's it. It's Laura.
Yes.
A6.
But he's
Yeah,
sitting
and-
there just holding Laura's head.
But you don't even see that he's holding her head. It just looks like he's sitting there holding her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
well, yeah.
he's talking about Emily, his sister, and how she's better now and it'll all be okay.
Yeah, he's suffered a psychotic break. He's no longer, Howard Phillips has checked out mentally at that point.
Mhm.
And West, being, West, just takes his name tag off of his shirt and walks off
Mm-hmm.
and leaves him. And, because West was planning on leaving this whole time. And he just kind of, well, I'll just take your name badge.
Mm-hmm.
And the SWAT team find Howard Phillips. He has no badge, and he's holding her severed head.
Yeah,
And-
they go up to him from behind, and he's babbling, and they go to take the head, and it's just the head.
Yeah. And he's all, she's better now. And she starts laughing. And as they're taking him away to put him in jail, put him in prison, because they think he's a prisoner.
Which is again very Evil Dead 2, like with Linda
Mhm.
being like on that fucking in the fucking
The
middle,
vice grip.
yes, voice grip. Also, you were rolling the penis around. Why? Yeah, why, Rod? Why were you rolling the penis around?
I don't know. Obviously for the laugh. What other reason could there be? Yeah, so Howard Phillips is going to be in jail for the rest of his life, and Herbert West has assumed his identity and is pushing a corpse out along with his medical bag of all the last of his reagent, and is claiming he's Howard Phillips now. And
Yep.
they believe it, and they let him out. And he gets out, looks at his pocket, finds the eyeball, tosses it, and walks off into the misty darkness.
Yep.
And the eyeball starts crawling along, watching him as he does it.
Yep.
And that was it. I mean, that was pretty much from beginning to end. It was really cool. I had it was in what they shot it in 2003, or it came out in 2003.
Yeah.
Yep.
The CGI of the guy that was a severed torso, that was actually really well done. Like it didn't look like it was, I don't know. Like
I think they used older techniques on that,
it
which is
really
why it still
sold
looked
it.
decent.
Yeah, it really.
I mean,
looked good.
2003, you're looking at the turn of the century CGI effects, and everything was kind of, hokey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not very good. And this really stood out. I'm like, that's really good
Yeah.
for them.
Because, 2001, you had Event Horizon, and the opening sequence from that looks fucking terrible, and it looked terrible back then.
Right. Sure. But this has a pretty good, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You should watch it just for some of the effects. Like, I don't know if it was entirely CG. I think some of that's practical effects, but
Some of it, yes.
I can't really tell where the practical and the CG are if they're blended together. It's really good at hiding that, so you can't really tell. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I appreciate stuff like that when I can't tell if it's CG or if it's actual practical effects.
Honestly,
I like that.
Honestly, I have a theory that it might be green screen, or it's green screened bodies,
Yeah,
and then like the torso part is just in front of it with
could
actual
be.
physical, because some of that stuff actually like moved like it
Yeah.
would. So I
Mhm.
think that's the case, but still,
That would be my suspicion. I mean, particularly with the scene where the rat guy's upper torso is moving down the hallway behind West.
yeah, where
like-
he's holding on above and
Yeah.
pulling himself down the hallway. The spine shakes back and forth with
Yeah.
correctly with his swaying,
Yeah.
And I'm like, how did they do that? It was really, really good.
You could also see the lighting sort of changes a little bit, like you used to see in the late 80s, early 90s with green screening.
Right.
So I think Blackout's right on there with it being a mix of green screen and practical.
Yeah. I like that they did it that way. I like that's more believable to me than if they'd made a CGI torso.
Mhm.
Yeah, it definitely is. And again, for a movie with the budget of 3 million, that's fucking impressive.
Yeah,
it
that was
really
one of the
good.
things that impressed me most about it is the fact that they did everything they did in this movie. Because you've got an entire prison set, you've got actual CGI work where they're doing like the neurons for the
Yeah.
MPE stuff going into the bodies and what have you.
Yeah.
You've got practical effects, you've got green screening, you've got a fairly large extended cast of people for all of the
Mhm.
prisoners as
Yeah.
well as the cops. Plus
Yeah.
some, decent acting. It's B movie stuff, but it's still decent acting.
Oh yeah. We totally skipped over the part where the original killer that had eaten people catches the nurse and
Yeah.
Forgive
her-
me,
but-
Father.
forgive me, and she's scared, but then she's like, I forgive you, and then he bites her nipple off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like, what is this?
That was probably one of the weirdest, but also the best payoff for the side character plots.
Yeah, it was.
well, the second best payoff. I still think the junkie still had the better payoff.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Welcome, Samaj.
Hey, it's Maj. But yeah, no, this entire series, like, the first one had about $1 million to 2 million in its budget. Second one, 2.5 million. Third one, 3 million. Like, the entire fucking series is less than $7,000 fucking dollar. Oh, it's $7
No,
million.
7 million, yeah.
$1,000. It's like, fucking, for $7 million, that, even back then, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of the movies we watched, Cast a Deadly Spell with from a while back. That was a Lovecraftian movie. That was an HBO movie, I guess. Like HBO was involved in production. That was $6 million.
Yeah.
And it's just as good, in my opinion, as these. I mean, it's not A-list stuff. This is kind of B movie, horror movie stuff.
Absolutely.
They spent almost as much as for that movie as they did all three of these.
Yeah.
You know,
And the three of these have had a much more,
far more
a larger cultural impact. I mean,
yeah,
at the very least, the first one is well respected as, cult horror.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. I would even say the second one falls into it. The third one
No.
is a little bit too modern to really gain that traction because, like, again, Re-Animator came out in like 87?
86, 87,
88,
something like
I
that.
believe, was the first one.
Yeah,
85.
they're older movies.
85, okay.
Yeah.
So 85, 1990, and then
2003.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit too long of a gap between
Yeah.
to really like catch the same audience.
Yeah, so like
But-
if it came out in like the mid 90s, I think it actually would have like just been the fucking hopping on
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah,
and it would be like one of the great fucking trilogies.
yeah,
But now
Yeah.
most people haven't even seen the third one.
yeah. That's true.
Well, I do appreciate with the third one at the least they tried to capture some of the early 90s, late 80s horror style too.
Oh, absolutely.
The scene Rat was just talking about with the nurse, like he rips her blouse open, so there's just a lot of scenes of her toplessly screaming for
Yep.
that segment.
I mean, maybe I'm old fashioned, but I don't mind seeing naked women in a movie for a few seconds. Seeing a
Well,
pair
I
of
mean,
boobs,
it's classic Scream Queen.
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
topless and I'm
it's-
screaming because someone's about to kill me or something.
it might be what some people consider a trope, but I don't mind that trope. I kind of like it.
Yeah, well,
Always
it's a
did.
trope that you actually see kind of dead by 93.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. And I kind of, it's like, where's the screaming topless chick?
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, I
No,
mean,
I miss it.
It goes hand in hand with that issue of, mid 90s through to now, where they just kind of dumb everything down to PG-13 so as to
Right.
try to get the biggest audience possible.
And if it goes past the PG-13, then it's just gore. Like
Yeah.
they over rely on gore on a lot of newer films, and these films hits the sweet spot of like
Mhm.
just enough, but doesn't go overboard.
Yeah.
Well, part of it is that with the gore that's in these movies, it's not treated in the same way you have them treating gore in, say, Hostel, where it's part of a shock value.
Exactly.
The gore in these movies is almost ancillary to any of the events. It's a gory subject, so there's gore there.
Yes, and it has a lot to do with reanimating bodies. Like, of course, there's gonna be some gore in it. Like the second film had like the whole like putting together a fucking body just
out
by
of multiple
parts.
people.
Yeah. So
But even that they sort of worked their way into with scenes before, with like he's connecting the leg and the arm together.
Yeah, there was some of that.
or even the
But
eyeball
it's-
and the
The
fingers.
fingers,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool.
Like they
Like-
set the groundwork pretty low, and then they build up to the point you've got just an entire corpse there being pieced together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
I don't know.
again, that's something that I wish they would bring back. Like, I haven't been that excited about horror films recently, and the few ones that
Yeah.
I have been excited about, yeah, they don't have that suspense that really you could find back then. Even I know you two weren't the biggest fan of Halloween, but
Well,
the suspense
think
building
a
in
lot of
that-
the issues are more with my issues are more with the story itself.
yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate the actual thematic styling of it
Yes.
and the cinematic work that Carpenter put into it. On
Yeah,
that
I
end,
agree.
I actually really love Halloween.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
where
It's just I don't think the actual plot lines and everything hold up.
Oh yeah, no. Again, it's a very basic story, and
Yeah.
with no blood.
Yeah.
That movie
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
have
true.
like the only blood that is in that movie is like when Lori gets caught on her arm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the only one, and the rest
Yeah.
of the time it's bloodless. And
No.
Mhm.
I mean, issue wise, the biggest problems I have is just Myers getting up so much from what should be fatal injuries
yeah,
for just no reason.
Yeah.
Then just the weirdness of the whole setup with the murder house that Myers is cleaning up between phone calls,
Mm-hmm.
and then just the positioning of the bodies in there for her to find them with the tombstones. It's sort of creepy, but the way it's done, it almost comes off as just comical. What the fuck, right now?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
this,
kinda.
at this point from stuff we've seen, and I think that's the biggest issue I have because it just kills the mood there. But as far as the suspense goes, it plays in with what Carpenter did with foreground and background stuff. You've so often got Myers in the background, building the suspense, the creepiness, all of
Yes.
that, when it's just everything else is a normal scene.
yes, and again, that is something that is lost nowadays. Like, just let this scene speak for itself, and just good placement, and just let it linger.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, a little bit more building and a little bit less jump cuttiness.
Yeah. Yeah. I appreciated those. I mean,
We were talking about this the other night, how cinematography itself has kind of gotten lackadaisical. You rarely get good tracking shots. The only one we could really think of was
1917.
yeah. And recent-
1917. Yeah. Another thing you don't really see a whole lot of anymore is just the classic rotating panning shots that they used to do.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't see those.
Oh, actually, there is one film we completely forgot that does it, and that's Nobody.
Yeah, Nobody. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
We did. I didn't think of that.
John
You're right.
Wick, actually.
Mm-hmm.
John Wick sort of does tracking shots. It's a
Yeah.
little bit more jump cutty at least from what I remember of them.
Well, it gets sometimes it's jump cutty in the action sequences,
Yeah.
because obviously they're taking more than one take to get some of those fight
Right.
sequences done. And that's why, I mean, that kind of inherently happens with action like that. But I don't mind it there in an action sequence.
Yeah.
It's just that sometimes the other parts of the movie where there doesn't need to be the jump cuts and the quick switching from like they're in a car to the other perspective of the motorcycle that's chasing them, then back into the car. There doesn't need to be that. Just
Yeah.
show both of them on, show the motorcycle 10 feet away from behind the car.
Basically,
And
do
just
like the
have a third car, have the camera car behind that filming both of them instead of jumping between the two.
yeah.
Yeah, kind of like the old chase scenes with
The
Bullet.
older
and,
chase it. Yeah. I like that style a little better.
Yeah, I was gonna compare it to like Terminator
Yeah.
2,
yeah, T2
Wow.
had a really good chase scene with
It
the
did.
the truck.
yeah.
Yeah.
So again, it's not like it can't be done. It's just it's an editing choice, and sometimes
It's something that everyone does because it makes it feel more frantic and high energy. And
But
it does,
it's
but
forced. It feels
Yeah.
forced at times in some movies. And I don't, it's like,
when you're looking at it and you're realizing they're actually only doing 30 miles an hour,
yeah.
yeah.
But
It's one of those things. It's like, instead of forcing the feeling of franticness, make the scene and the tension of the characters build the franticness of it.
welcome
instead of
Keisha.
instead of just everything's whooshing by so fast.
Yeah.
Don't do it that way.
I mean, a good example of like you just letting the scene speak for itself is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. From like the whole way when Leatherface comes out and just grabs onto that chick, like the scene speaks for itself, and it's like it's perfect in the sense of building suspense. In that case, now that's not a really fucking scary film, really. It's kind of kind of a bit slower.
Yeah, but it's also has its fans.
Well, see, that's the thing with a horror film is you have to, like, an action movie, you've got calmer moments for story than the actiony points. So you've got spikes.
Yes.
With a horror movie, you kind of actually have to have negative spikes for the suspense to build. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
almost just moments of nothing.
Yeah.
And
Specifically for someone to go, okay, any moment now, something's going to happen, and then don't have anything happen.
and that's
Yeah.
what they have replaced with jump scares, where it goes completely quiet. Any moment now, someone's gonna fucking make a loud noise for no fucking reason. Fuck you, Paranormal Activity, for the cat.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Right.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know. We even know where to go from that. Like,
No.
honestly, like Re-Animator as a franchise is so fucking good and underrated, and I like. Again, as Samaj said, they're impressive, not fantastic, but still impressive.
I mean, I've seen overall better movies, but these are solid.
Oh yeah,
They're definitely, in my opinion, if you're into horror stuff at all, these are worth a watch. These are worth your
Horror,
time.
gore, a little bit of dark humor.
Yeah.
or
I think it's
downright silly humor with the
Yeah.
third one.
yeah.
Like, this
I
is
think it's
right
all
up your
good.
alley. So, yeah,
So
that's a strong recommendation just to watch at least once, just to
oh yeah.
like if you're into horror comedies, or just like
But
80s.
especially this time of the year, I mean, it's Halloween. It's October. It's fall.
Yes.
It's a good time for it.
Yeah.
Don't,
Hell, you sit down, Netflix, and chill with the second movie and see if you can beat Dan and Herbert for who can hold the titty the longest.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yep.
That was really funny. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how a house gonna burn down from a pizza not being taken out.
Wait, all right, what? What about a pizza? What are you talking about?
Because whoever lets the titty go first, gonna let the pizza just burn.
Pizza's in there, timer's going off. But, you know, Herbert and Dean are still standing there, hands on the boobs.
I thought you were trying to like. Sorry, just
You,
never
you
mind.
thought I was gonna talk
Yeah.
about food, so you would think that it's time for food.
No, I thought you were I thought you were trying to like insinuate or like throw me under the bus with the time I left a pizza in the oven for like 16 hours.
I didn't even think about that, but thanks for
I
bringing it
thought
up.
that's where you
I did, but
that's what I thought you were trying to do, because that did happen. I left a pizza in the oven for 16 hours. I put it in there and then I left, and I came back 16 hours later and the whole house was filled with smoke. And you know, a tombstone pizza that's, you know, like they're like
was fit to be a tombstone.
they're roughly this big usually. It was this big now. And it was as black as my suit and basically just pure carbon. It was a mistake. I'll admit it.
So, I mean, I guess that's a good way to wrap it up. Don't leave your pizza in like rotted, and stay safe during Halloween.
Yeah, and don't roll around any severed penises either. Don't do that either.
Yeah.
Leave Brad to do that.
You know, if you're going to revive someone, make sure it's someone that doesn't want to kill you first.
Yeah, that too. Very, very good point.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Yeah,
Happy
Halloween.
Halloween. And I will just you out with something. I forgot to have something ready. Shit.
Check out Ham and Spam Radio on YouTube.
Okay.
All right. And you all have a good one.
Later, everyone.
See ya.
Well, I don't know why I came here tonight. I got the feeling that something ain't right. I'm so scared in case I fall off my chair. And I'm wondering how I'll get down the stairs. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you. Yes, I'm stuck in the middle with you. And I'm wondering what it is I should do. It's so hard to keep the smile from my face. Losing control, yeah, I'm all over the place. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the